Up everybody, I is back again. Welcome to the Gaming Roundtable. I am JUICEman3941, and this is Generation Zero. Generation Zero is the latest game by Avalanche Studio, a Swedish-based company. The difference in this particular game is not only they develop it in-house, they also published it as well, which is really nice. What exactly is this game? It takes place in 1989 Sweden, and you basically start out in a boat. At least there's a text scroll for that to say that you're in a boat. It was attacked. You make it to shore, and you kind of have to make your way through the world, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. Where is everybody at? And why are all these killer robots running around? One of the things I want to talk about with this game right away off the bat is the fact that I've got about 3 hours into the game. I've been playing it since the other day, right on the day it came out, and played a lot of it last night, and I have just really fell in love with the game. It actually borrows elements from I would say the best thing it borrows from is basically it feels similar to Fallout, with its going around and opening up things like that to loot everything under the sun, pretty much, and various safe houses and whatnot. The game world is highly interactive, with being able to close doors and do things along that lines. The game also mirrors a little bit of Fallout 76 in the sense, not in the bad ways, but in like the ways that are like you're on your own, you're by yourself, and there's no NPCs per se, and you do get like messages, and you find answering machines and things where people are talking about things that are going on and happening. But the difference is in Fallout 76, when you played that game, you really felt no drive or reason to keep playing it as you progressed through the game. It was just these text scrolls and different things that would go on, and you'd be like, I don't really feel like this doesn't push me to the next scenario that I'm supposed to do. Fallout 76 felt, while good in some very small doses. This game's different tonally. It has an incredible atmosphere. And being placed in 1989, some of the music, for example, is very reminiscent of some of the music you might have heard like out of Stranger Things. It does kind of give off that vibe, and I love it. The game world is using the Apex engine, and it's kind of weird to see Avalanche make a first-person shooter-style game. The game world is beautiful. The lighting is incredible. The shadows are great. Texture work is top-notch. The day to night cycles, the weather, little things happen. During a storm, I happened to notice where the wind was blowing. I was at a home, and there was this swing set, and the swings were swaying up into the wind and moving how you would think they should move, and it was just really cool to see. That is a locked one. Okay, yeah, there's this door open here. This is places you can loot and whatnot. You can go in these homes too. Generally speaking, on farms and places like that, you can actually get safe houses, and these safe houses unlock, and you can fast travel to them at any time that you wish. No, none of the vehicles are actually in the game operational, and at first I thought maybe that was because they didn't, because you're going to walk and run around everywhere. And some people have criticized the game for that. They're saying, why do I have to walk around everywhere? And why can't I have like some kind of vehicle, since the map is so huge? And the reason it is because I found some snippet of some information about why none of the vehicles are working. It has something to do with electromagnetic pulse, and so they do explain it in the story. It's one of those things that you have to search, loot, find things, and everything you can. Right now, I've cleared out this area. The only robots I have encountered thus far are these dog-like ones called rovers, and they can be a pain in the ass, to say the least. Look at that. That is so beautiful. They did such a good job on that, on the look of it. I have a hunting rifle with a silencer, and again, you can mod your weapons in the game on the fly, which is nice. and I have this shotgun. There are different rarities of weapons, which is nice. One of the things, I'm going to go back into the barn here for a second so I can show you a couple things about the interface. And again, this is like if Daisy and Fallout 4 and Far Cry all had a baby. It's essentially all that. Here's something here. We've got these weapons here, which this says dilapidated and that, but I already own those, so I don't need that. There's no really need to sell. There's no dismantling. So let's go through some things here. So first of all, this is the map. This is where I'm at. You actually start right here at this. This is where you start the game. And it's 1.54 kilometers away. You can set the game to metric or standard depending on how you want to do it. That is how far away the church. That was the second safe house, and unlocked this one. And the map is huge. This is literally all the map. It is ginormous. It is Sweden. It's the I always mispronounce this, Archipelago Island, whatever the hell you want to call it, and it gets to the mainland here. And this is just a ginormous map. It's huge. This little area I'm in alone just felt just like, wow, there's just so much to do, and it's very, very well designed. Inventory, that's my character. You do get create a character at the beginning. You pick from a template, and it's 1989, so you got like a punk rocker, a greaser, a metalhead, but then you get like clothes and different things that can actually change your appearance pretty much straight away. The inventory in the game is interesting because you actually got you do a little bit of inventory management. These again eventually do unlock, and the inventory management, to me, is very it reminds me very much of like Resident Evil, in that like old school Resident Evil where you got to manage your inventory, take things you think you're gonna need, and go from there. Like for example, you can hold 5 of these flares. I really don't need that flare, so I can drop it and move the radios up here, and just kind of manage your inventory as you see fit. And then of course you can do this one or two ways. You can drag an item by hitting move and put it straight to your belt, or you can context it and hit assign the slot. It's very, very cool, very easy. 2 different ways to do it. This is my skill trees. I am currently level 2, and there's a lot to unlock here. There's support skills, survival skills, tech skills. You can play this game online with up to 4 people, and all 4 of you could have different, there's different active specialization that you'll eventually get. But what's interesting is that you could like support, I put one in tech, which is spotting intel. Increased amount of information provided with spotting. So when you spot stuff, you can tell what exactly you're going to be facing. This I put in some stamina. I'm not sure how this works because it says increases the maximum amount of stamina your character has, but there's no stamina meter in the game, so I can't tell. It's just you got to kind of base it on your characters, how hard they're breathing when they're running and things like that. So that so again, they try to make the HUD as HUDless as possible, essentially. This is your log. This tells you different things. These are the world quests I've already completed. There are collectibles to get in the game. I've found some in the world. There's mixtapes you find. It goes through your stats. And in your stats, you can see there's warboard missions completed, world missions completed. Now, I don't know what the warboard is. I don't know what that's about. There's different, and every time you get to a location, you got to get everything out of that location. I mean, it basically just goes through like what all you've killed and what you've done so far. And even though I've killed a bunch of these runners, it says runners and longest time spent in combat, all that says 0. The reason that does is every time you log on, it's like the game world is persistent, so it's only based upon what you've done. The online thing, playing with people, and I want to talk about this too. If you join a game, only the person hosting keeps the progress. So if you leave out, you don't really get like, it's hard to explain. Like, it's just really hard to explain. And that shows completed, unfiltered, and then world. And I'm on this one. I didn't do this mission because I couldn't really figure out. It just says find the hunter's house, and I need to go back and do that at some point. Now on your profile, this is what's neat about this. You find these clothes, but the actual clothes give you things. So let's go to my jacket, for example. It doesn't give me anything. But if I go to my shirt, like this dark gray, see how my visibility, like if the visibility goes up, that means that you're less visible. But if I go to, and which is kind of nice, it says plus on it. Pants wise, then punk pants, for example, if I was to wear those, there's two versions of them, I can actually get noise reduction. But this gives me bullet resistance. Now, I don't know why this gives you things like the denim pants green give you explosive. I mean, pants shouldn't make you bullet resistant, but actually it's a cool concept because you get to wear certain things that give you help. Shoes, same thing. These give me bullet resistance, or I can go noise reduction, so I make less noise while I walk. Or these leather shoes, black, make me less visible. That gives me noise reduction. You know, if I wear these moon boots, for example, I make less noise when I'm walking because it's just like you're walking on the moon, so to speak. I do the bullet resistance thing, so it's nice. So I got bullet resistance for my shoes. I've got my visibility is down, and on my pants I also do bullet resistance. You could go like a build and do all noise reduction and barely make a sound when you walk around. And you get to change this. And there's a ton of emotes that you can like pick, you know, and then of course you got your team. It shows where I've developed my stuff into and whatnot. And this is basically my character in a nutshell. And that's basically the interface UI. It is very similar to Fallout and games like that. And yes, the game world is empty, kind of like Fallout 76. The difference is the atmosphere in this game, by the way, it feels almost like a horror atmosphere. Something's really off in this game world. Like you'll be playing it, and there's, even though everything looks bright and it's sunny, but everything's kind of like lifeless and weird. It's almost like Haddonfield in the original Halloween, where yes, it looks like a normal neighborhood, but there's something not quite right in the game world. So there's just something off, and that this game just has so much atmosphere. And I also want to throw out something here too. This has some of the best sound design. I mean, the best sound design I've literally ever seen in a game. It's just fantastic, and it's just absolutely incredible. I'm hoping no enemies are around. I'll fire off a shot, and you can hear that reverberation of those weapons. It's amazing. And that just sounds so good. Or like when you do fireworks and these like help distract. The sound quality is amazing. Yeah, the sound quality of this game is unbelievable. Hey, hello, Guten Abend from Germany, Rockabilly Go. Glad that you are watching the broadcast. Generation Zero is just been a great game. I've been playing it, and I'm just talking about it here, getting people informed about it. Avalanche Studios really has done a great job on this game, and giving us an amazing open world, Fallout-like experience, better than Fallout, which is nice, and I absolutely love it. And the game is excellent. The sound design is excellent. The world is excellent. And again, there's this mystery in the game. This mystery of like what happened? Where did everybody go? Why are these killer robots walking around? You don't know. And that's what's driving you forward. Every time you get a little bit more information, every time you do certain things, it's like you just learn more and more about what's going on. But they keep that information doled out very slowly, so you just kind of drive the factors home. Originally they were calling it like a survival game, but no, there is no survival mechanics. You don't have to eat, drink, sleep, and all the other stuff that's in other survival games. This game is excellent, and It is a really, really good game. And you're right, the game looks amazing, and it is. The day-night cycles. I mean, just the sun coming up and going down. It's just, the game world is beautiful. You got your binoculars. You can use this to scope in, and you can cycle vision modes here, which is kind of nice. If you want to, this is what you use to spot enemies with. And I mean, just everything is beautiful. There's a little dust on the lens there. So it's a great game. I mean, it is literally, if you like Fallout, if you like Far Cry, if you like DayZ, or any of these kind of games, you'll love this. And again, the game is it's just awesome. Like, they just did such, Avalanche Studios, who make Just Cause, who make Mad Max, solely developed and made this game. It came out Tuesday for $39.99. It's absolutely great game. Now, I am playing solo. There's not a whole lot of people who are hip to this game, so it took me a while to find an online game yesterday. There's little details in the game world that I find, like, which they don't do in other games. Like, you can, like, if I go down here, for example, and I push into the trees, like, stuff moves out of your way. If it's, like, kind of tall, it actually, like, will be trampled on, and it's awesome. Yes, you do need it. It's amazing. Excellent game. Now, I've already cleared out a lot of the area, so I haven't ran into any, like, too many enemies, but it's always good to, like, before you get to a place, you know, if I duck down, you know, pull out my binoculars and just make sure there's no enemies running around, because they swarm you. And oh, okay, now here we go. Now there's something over here, so we're gonna see what's up. So it's right there. He hasn't completely spotted me yet. He knows I'm in the area. It shows you what they are, their status. They're actively searching. Difficulty's easy. So I'm gonna go. There are weak points at the top of their stuff. Got it. If you try to attack them otherwise with their armor up like that, yeah, it takes a minute. Now I've done like attracted this thing, so I'm gonna run over here and get out of its view. Can you please tell me the online mode? Yes, I will tell you. The online mode is that you can create a game and or host it. And as you host it, like up to 3 people can join your game, or you can look for a game of it, like on the online mode. I've set my visibility to public, so anybody who's playing this game could find my game and join it. But if you don't host a game, you can go right into a game, and you can look for a game, find a game, and then join a game, and then you can play with people. And it definitely pays to have headphones so you can talk. You're going to need to do that because the game is about communication and whatnot. And as you play together, because of your various skill trees, y'all, you know, you can find different builds in various. Like I was showing earlier in the skills, you know, someone could be a combat person, and someone could be just strictly a support person that helps with throwing accuracy, survival, and so you do have different builds, and that will help you all work together. There are 6 to 7 different enemy types in the game. So far, I've only ran into that. There are robots in the game that are 2 stories tall. They're humongous. It would take a lot of people to take them out, but that's probably in this area of the map, way up here, where like it probably gets harder because it seems like the game is pushing you towards the center of this map. But you know, you got your safe homes. So yes, the online mode is up to 4 people. All you have to do is either host a game or join a game. It's pretty simple, straightforward, which is pretty cool. So I do like that. And the reason that I close the doors is because the little robots that I just fought, they can come in the houses. They can't maneuver as well, but they can come in there. So you gotta, like, you know, be leery of those kind of things. I'm pretty sure I've already looted this place, if memory serves. So always keep like a watch out for that. You can your various ammos, for example, you can like change out the ammo types for a particular weapon. Like I had a couple different variations on they. Hey, no problem there, bud. You're welcome. You have like my pump action. I had a couple different types of ammo, and so you can change out ammo types. It's pretty cool. It took me a while to realize that there's these roving guys had these weak points on top, so it only take 1 or 2 hits to take out. The game is a little hard because in the early game, especially when you get to the second safe house, which is a church, it's the church. There's a lot of enemies like in the vicinity, and so if you make a lot of noise, they all kind of communicate and talk to each other. Some people are complaining that the robots. Oh no, you're good, bud. I understand what you're. I understand you perfectly. I just appreciate you watching, and I hope you pick up the game because it is fun. It definitely like has that Fallout-esque kind of thing. And oh, there's an enemy right there. He hasn't seen me. No, I got you, bud. I understand. So here we go. He's scanning. You can see he's scanning, looking for stuff. He did a lot of damage just right off the bat. So again, like the enemies are tough. So I'm assuming later on you might get armor and things. I'm gonna have to take a healing kit here and get some healing there. The music is awesome. Like when enemies attack you, it gets into that weird Stranger Things like 80s music score. It's just really cool. Yes, there is fast travel in the game too, as long as you've unlocked like these safe houses. I know where I'm supposed to go. I'm kind of like just kind of making my way back. I can fast travel there if I wanted to, but I'm gonna skip on that for right now. Like Fallout 76, the difference is that this game. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm part of YouTube channel called Unpaid Gamers. I am the Gaming Roundtable. I've been doing the show for about going on its 3rd year, so I've got a lot of different things. I like to talk about games and show people gameplay. Most of the time I turn the audio down on the music and stuff because, yeah, it's huge. That map is ginormous. Look at this map. It is unbelievably big. You can go to every one of these, even these islands that are not like listed. There are bridges to get there with these roads here. These are just high exploration areas. These have all your towns. It's just a big area. And just the map I'm on now, it's just this little area. It's massive, which is great. And it's getting around nighttime. In the game world, day-night cycles. There are weather systems that roll in, rain, storms, you name it. It's pretty cool. Trying to get through here. Sometimes it's best to stay like off the beaten path, off the road. Let me get my bearings here. I need to go. Let's see. I need to turn there. Go back towards this other house I was at. I have been attacked by packs of those rovers, like where there was like 5 or 6 of them. Yeah, you can, when you die in the game. Here's another thing. You don't lose any experience or anything when you die. You can be revived up to 3 times. You can revive yourself if you have the adrenaline shots, which you can find in the game. They're fairly generous. They're fairly generous with those and ammo, by the way. So I've got 151 ammo. I'm glad that they're generous with the ammo because the game would be really tough without it. Generation 0. When you die in the game, you can revive yourself or teammates can revive you up to 3 times. If you run out of those and you have to abandon if you're playing solo, you just go back to the original safe house. Now, that's why it's important to try to unlock the different safe houses because you can pick where you spawn in at one of those. So if you were to only have, let's say, this one unlocked and you didn't unlock this one and you died in this area, you'd have to go all the way back here and then make your way back. The game world is persistent even when you leave. So let's say you fought a machine and you damaged it and then you left the game. If you came back in and came across that machine again, it would still be damaged. So the game world is persistent. It's a persistent online game. You have to be online to play it. There is no offline. I haven't had anybody really join my games, but I just kind of keep things. Again, this is always important to do this. and put the different vision modes in to make sure there is no enemies. Again, I've cleared out the area, but the interesting thing is because it's a persistent online mode, enemies might have come back, like they just, because these dogs, they roam around all over the map. They'll travel miles just to, to get and search and continuously search. It says there's 15 to 24 loot, so I haven't looted this whole Straga farm I'm at, which is fine. I'm back at this safe house, so there is some things I missed. So I'm gonna go over here to this home here. Absolutely recommend this game. It's absolutely amazing, and I love the fact that like they did a game without NPCs, which is what Bethesda tried to do with Fallout 76 and failed, and this game succeeds because they turned it into this big mystery. I've already listened to that. I can listen that's a one of the things that tells you about what's going on in the game world. It's an answer machine. Someone left a message to say, hey, we don't know what's going on and whatnot. Once you listen to them, you can listen to them again in your audio log and your inventory. So it's good to explore. This is like food that they just up and left because the sirens went off and everybody had to run. It's good to check every room, everything, to make sure you don't miss any kind of loot, because it's important to see everything. There are little touches, like I can turn light switches on and off. I can, boom, switch them off. And the reason that that's in the game is if there was enemies outside, they can still search and detect you. If they find you or see you moving around inside the house through the windows, they will stay alerted and put themselves in combat mode. So if you turn the lights off, makes it a little easier for them not to spot you. So that's kind of cool. You can go over here, open these doors, looking around, seeing what's up. And like this, there's a toolbox. So there's some first aid. You can take all or select what you want. Those gas canisters you can put down the ground, for example, and throw down, let's say, a boombox that you get, which is a noise tractor or fireworks, and enemies can come there, and then you can shoot the gas can, and it will blow up and you kill the enemies. So you can lay traps in the game for them. It's really neat. The music is so subtle and perfect for the game. It is an eerie game. Like I was saying earlier, it's almost feels like a horror game because the atmosphere is so good. And it takes place, like I said, in 1989. Hence, some of this stuff here. There's nothing in there, so it's always good. And here we go. Here's a case here. So these are emergency flares. Always take the clothes. Always take the clothes. I don't need... I'm going to take that firework and be done with it. Let's see what's in this room. Don't look like there's too much in this room to kind of deal with. So, see, turn the light off. Keeps it dark in case anything's roaming outside. With the game world being persistent, you really need to do that. It's so neat because you never know. Sometimes you just run across enemies can still be... They'll just move into the area and you're like, okay, great. Another interesting thing is that every house I went to, the clocks, the power went out, and that's what I was talking about earlier with the vehicles. And I found out there was some kind of EMP effect, and it knocked out all the vehicles. And even though the power came back on, because I found another thing where people, the defense network or whatever in Sweden, the power came back on for everybody, but everybody's clocks are at 0000 because of that. So even though the EMP knocked out the electricity, because see, the story is your characters left and went off on vacation and then came back some days later, weeks or whatever, and then this is what you come home to, and now you kind of have to be like these makeshift, essential soldiers, even though you're not soldiers. It's very cool. And again, you should search everything. Search every car, open up trunks. The world's highly interactive. I like that. Usually with vehicles, I try to keep one door open. That way you've searched it, but you've searched it before. But you can open pretty much every door. Sometimes you find things inside these trucks and whatnot. I mean, the lighting in this game is amazing. Look at that. That's incredible. The slight dust on the lens. It's good. Cool. He's gonna... Oh, Rockabilly Go X, he's going to be back in 5 minutes. He's going to go download the game. It's a great game. It really is. It is amazing. You'll definitely love it. If you don't, I'll be surprised. It is fantastic. It is fun to play. It is literally like Fallout meets Far Cry meets DayZ. It's excellent. Definitely check it out. Generation Zero is out now for $39.99. Creators, it was created by Avalanche Studios, and they are the makers of Just Cause and Mad Max, a very criminally underplayed game, and you should totally definitely pick it up because it is an awesome game. It's nice to see Avalanche, who normally just publishes games, make an actual game, develop a game from the ground up. It's really, really good. I believe, and it's just awesome. Like I'm really enjoying it, and I'm glad that I picked it up. And I was really intrigued by it originally when I first looked into it on the pre-order page about last month, and I was like, I took the plunge, and glad that I did. It's awesome. It's an amazing game. It's excellent. It's fun as hell to play, and I'm playing solo and just enjoy it. Like I said, there's this mystery to be solved, and unlike Fallout 76 that also has no NPCs, that game just didn't have enough narrative or anything to push you forward. This game, and felt very empty and devoid of, you just didn't feel like continuously, let me keep pushing forward to the next objective. This game offers you snippets of information, and it kind of makes you want to push forward. You want to keep playing it because you'll get these little notes, you'll get these letters that were left by loved ones, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. With the music and the sound design and the atmosphere, that's what made me want to keep playing. This game makes me keep pushing forward, and I love that. I like the fact there's quest lines and side quests and things to do, that there is the roleplay aspects with the skill trees. Avalanche knocked it out of the park with this, and if you're watching this stream, anyone that catches this stream now or later on the Gaming Roundtable channel there with Unpaid Gamers, you do yourself a service and buy the game. It is fantastic. It is really, really good, and definitely worth your time. It's just awesome. There's something very interesting that keeps it's just compelling for me to keep going, and I like that aspect. It's just a great game. There's that cool subtle music again, which I love. The clouds, everything looks good. It's like I was telling you earlier, the sound. Oh, there is something over here. Uh-oh, what we got here? Let me pull out the old binoculars, see what I can find. There's two of them right there. Two rovers. That's a model Skirklassa. Activity. There's nothing going on. They're just walking around. Actually, there's three of them down there. See what I mean? There's three enemies down there. If I go down there, even though I have weapons, it would be a death sentence. It'd be best to use a lure or something, but since I don't have to go down that way, but it's good. I love that fact those binoculars have that vision mode, and that's what that spotting skill helps me do. That when I didn't have that vision mode on my binoculars, by the way, just want to let you know that until I took the skill tree, and this skill tree here, my binoculars never had that until I picked spotting intel, and then it added that to my binoculars. So it's like my binoculars upgraded. Now I can spot stuff. It's very cool. I love that because it makes you feel like, oh, okay, now I'm heading back over towards the church here, which was my second safe spot that I went to. Definitely pick the game up. Everyone should pick this game up. Start playing with your friends. Start playing solo. However you're doing. I've been mainly doing solo. Generation Zero. Amazing sound. Amazing atmosphere. Incredible graphics. It uses the Apex engine that Avalanche has fine-tuned over the years. You use it with the Just Cause series and Mad Max. It is excellent. It is an excellent game. Avalanche really knocked it out of the park here. There's still 2 things I haven't looted in this church for some reason, so it's kind of funny how that works, but let's see what we got in here. Okay, makeup, and we'll do that and get that. No, I didn't mean to take all of it, but there you have it. Some more stuff there to loot. I just need that. And there we go. Always check your cars out. I thought I had checked that car out before. But yes, the mystery, the music, the sound, the graphics, they're all excellent. Now, I don't know if you can shoot lights, which you can't. Uh-oh. Somebody got alerted. I gotta go back in my safe house church and hunker down for a minute. Ooh, bullets. Always take the bullets. Very, very important. Now, I think I've got plenty of radios. You always want to be, and a lot of times I've already looted this church, but I've actually beaten the mission for the church. So, but when I came back, it's funny, the loot here repopulates, and it's funny because the loot systems actually do remind me a little bit of Dead Island, the way that you search stuff. And again, everybody knows me. I've always loved the Dead Island series. It kind of does have that vibe now that I think about it. It's kind of Dead Island-ish in a way, where there's no, everything's abandoned, and it's kind of this weird. And in Dead Island, one of the things I loved about it was its atmosphere. Its atmosphere was so good in Dead Island. It's nice to be able to find all this stuff. And yes, everything kind of repopulates when you come back in the world, so you can constantly, and that's the thing, I like that, because if you leave the game world and come back to a place you've already been, because it's a safe house, loot repopulates. So if you're running low on something, just go revisit one of your safe houses. I think that's very smart in its design. Now you can see how that shows where the enemy knows there's something going on. Somebody, was around in this area, so they're still searching. The church is kind of a hotbed a place anyway, so I'm not really trying to get into a firefight, but this is the bell tower you can go up to, so it knows something's up. So there we go. Oh, look at this. Now this is a rifle scope. Now let me show you this. This is pretty cool here. So if I go into my inventory and go to this rifle scope and hit X, attach to weapon, I can attach it to the hunting rifle. So now that scope is attached to the hunting rifle, and now it's got a rifle and a silencer. Now it's not a great scope, so it's cracked, but at least it's a scope. So I put a silencer on there to keep this noise down, and that. So that's the cool thing. You can mod your weapons. Again, very nice. Done it on the fly. No crafting table involved. It's absolutely cool that you can do that. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. We'll close the door and try to stay out of his line of sight by moving this way. Again, if you went all full on noise reduction, then you would make a lot less noise moving and whatnot. It's really great. Look how the grass fell down. That's such a nice little touch, and it stays. And you go through it, and you go through it, and look, you just kind of mat it down. Look at that. It's such a nice touch to see little subtle things that a lot of games don't do. Yeah, the church is pretty cool. That's your second safe house. And I've already completed the mission that was involved in the church. And I'm glad I was able to go back, because there's this hunter mission I'm supposed to do, but I've not been able to find his home. So it's this mission called the Hunter. It just says find the hunter's house called Bjorknas, and I've got a mission item which shows you the letter you got, and talks about we'll go hunting, but I'm not sure. Yeah, you can send me a friend request, brother. I ain't worried about that. That way, since you download the game, man, I'd be happy to roam this countryside with you. It doesn't really tell you exactly where this hunter's lodge is at. You just kind of got to find it. So, and this is the quest that I kind of skipped over and went on full. So now I'm just kind of roaming around now and hoping I don't run into any enemies. Because I did fight some stuff earlier. I love that moonlight effect on that. Look at that lighting. It's incredible. I love that. The graphics are just so good, especially on this 4K TV. I just purchased it recently, and it's just everything looks so nice. You gotta be careful though when you come across. Like, look at this. Look at this. This here. This is an overturned vehicle. Again, I did not have that vision mode on my binoculars until I added to the skill of spotting, and that is nice to see that your skills affect your equipment. And I did not have that before. Now I have it, so that's really nice. This is where, alright, I got a friend request, which is nice. I'm gonna accept it in just a minute. Give me 1 second here, man. I'm about ready to, I just wanted to talk about this game a little bit. I'm gonna follow this road up in here, see if the house or something is up in here. I've been looking for this hunter's house. I'm not sure where it's at, so I'm just gonna follow the, that's just gonna show me back where I was at. So I don't know where this hunter's place is at, but it's great. The game is great. The atmosphere is so good, and the sound design, like I was saying earlier, when you can fire into the air when if it's safe, and you hear the reverberation, the fireworks, everything sounds so good, and the tone is just amazing, and this whole idea of this mystery, like I don't know what's going on. Like you were coming into home, your boat gets blown up. The game starts with a text crawl, which is interesting, instead of going with a cinematic. But it really sets the tone of the game, doing it that way. Instead of showing like a cinematic where people are running and, oh my god, robots, and like, no, you don't see that. You come into it trying to figure out what's going on exactly and why. So I'm just kind of following this road to see if this hunter's home's up here. There's something I haven't seen or found yet. So again, I'm glad there's some kind of fast travel. There's something up here, and I haven't been to it, and maybe it's up here. I don't know. There seems like there's a lot of buildings or walls or something up there, so we're just going to go this way. I want to thank you for... oh, you're welcome. I want to thank you, gamers, and the gaming community for tuning in. Generation Zero, I know there's been a lot of games that's come out. I know Division 2's out, and I did not purchase it, but I hear it's an excellent game. I actually passed on it to buy this game. There's been a lot of games that's come out here. I mean, it seems like every month there's at least 2 or 3 games that come out. Most have been pretty good. But I've been devoting time to like AC Odyssey and other games that I play, and I picked up Just Cause 4 for $30 on digital sale a couple weeks ago, and now it's like we've got this game, so it's like I just love Avalanche Studios. They just make great games or publish good games. So check my map periodically here. So I'm kind of like I just kind of wanted to pick this up, and for $40, I mean it's not a full price game. Avalanche has gone on record to state that they will continue to support this game. No, I haven't bought Sekiro. I have beaten Bloodborne and all 3 Dark Souls, and I've beaten Lords of the Fallen and The Surge. I love Souls games or Souls-like games. I haven't picked up Sekiro. It's kind of funny because I was watching gameplay of Sekiro. It looks amazing. I think it's interesting that they put stealth mechanics in that game, because a lot of people don't know this, but the last Tenchu Z, was made by From Software. So it's kind of cool that they actually did this. Oh, this is a castle. This is a castle up here. This is an event. Look at this. And there are enemies. Let's put on my binoculars and see what we got going on here. I'm not sure. Oh, there's got to be some loot in there. Look at that, is so cool. There's just some old castle, from Sweden. I don't see where this enemy's at, but I know because the little thing popped up. Okay. Abeholen Castle. There is loot. There's a mission involved here. Just kind of looking around, make sure I don't get inside. There he is, right there. There's two of them. Two of them. Right there. There he is. Runner prototype. It's a prototype runner, which means there's probably other runners in the game that are more advanced, is what I'm assuming. Their activity's calm. They use submachine guns. Okay. So, 2 enemies. Now, what I always say in this game, honestly, sometimes stealth is a better approach, and don't always engage the enemies. You get experience points for completing missions. You get experience you actually can get experience for avoiding fights, which is interesting. See, I'm trying to stay out of their field of view. Uh-oh. Now he's in search mode. If I can stay out of his field of view, it'll be alright. But yes, Generation Zero. It's out now. $39.99. Avalanche Studios, creators of Just Cause and Mad Max, and Hunter Call of the Wild, which is a game I haven't played because I'm just not into hunting games, is out now. And I'm going to go inside this home and close this door. I don't know if this castle is a potential safe house or not. And the game's got this great mystery, great atmosphere, great sound. It really does push you forward. You're going to want to keep playing it. I keep wanting to play it. It has some of the best elements of Fallout, Far Cry, DayZ, and games like that. Definitely 100% recommend it. You got to play this game. I've been talking now for 46 minutes about it, but it's an awesome game. You got to play Generation Zero. If you love Fallout, if you love Far Cry, if you love DayZ, like games like that, if you like mystery, the atmosphere of this game almost has a horror-like vibe to it, and you'll see what I mean when you first start the game. There's just something about it. It really hooks you in, and you can mod your weapons. You can on the fly. You got your inventory. You got your characters. You got your skills that you can build up to. I was saying earlier how it was interesting how my binoculars, like because I added a spotting. That skill, now all of a sudden my binoculars can spot enemies. I can see them. I can see what they have, what they are. I didn't have that before until I added to that. So your skills do affect all your items in the game, everything you do. So that's pretty cool. You got your log, your profile, your different emotes. Emotes are kind of funny. You can like dance around. You know, it's pretty ridiculous, but there you go. It's got these looting abilities. Now there's another one I was talking about earlier. I'm going to show you all this before I head out. There is shotgun shells, and it says bird shot, and it talks about what they are. It's used by farmers to shoot birds out of the sky. They cover a wide area, do light damage, but you guarantee to hit them. I can actually go to context menu, and I can switch them out to and switch ammo types, or I can go back to buckshot, and again do that. Attach to weapon. Attach to weapon, pump action, and now I switch them back out. It's kind of cool that you can switch ammo types on the fly. I like that. I think that's really neat. I don't know if there's anything else in this room to loot. Oh, what we got here? This is probably a weapon case. Yes, look at that. I got an SMG. That's awesome. And it's a green SMG. There are rarity weapons. It shows there's green, purple, all that stuff. So it does have that looter shooter kind of aspect too. I'm taking it because I don't have one. And now I have a SMG, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. Sidearm. Remove attachments. I can change out the primaries. Okay, now wait a minute. Did not let me take the weapon. Oh. Yeah, here we go. I just didn't hit the button. But now I've got an SMG, and I can switch that out if I wanted to with my shotgun or that. So again, and it's a green, so it says worn, and you'll get better weapons from dilapidated to worn, I guess, and it goes up in rarities, you know, blue, purple, and all that. So it does have looter shooter aspects, which is nice. I love that. That's great. That's very Fallout, Borderlands, just, you know, Far Cry New Dawn kind of scenario there. I'm going to switch to my rifle because these guys are around. I'd like to try to get up to this. I really want to get to this castle and get inside because it showed the loot and a mission that was involved. Okay. I'll switch back to my pistol because pistol's very accurate. I added this attachment. Trying to. It's actively searching. Okay, now it quit. Just couldn't find anything. I'm just trying to get. Again, you can go up and get the drop on these guys. Generation Zero is awesome. I'm playing it solo. You can play online with up to 4 people, you and 3 other buddies, or random strangers if you like. It's just an excellent game. Cool. I found a way up here. Okay. Gotta get down. Don't want to alert it. I'm assuming, I keep seeing it. There's there's seemingly a lot of enemies in this area. But definitely pick up Generation Zero if you like the looter shooter aspects. You like Far Cry, you like Fallout, you like Daisy, those type of games. I mean, I'm playing solo and just absolutely enjoying the game. It's fantastic. I absolutely love the fact that you can play with people too. I haven't done that yet, but it would definitely be better. I don't know if the game scales in difficulty if you're playing with people. I don't think it does, but it probably would make it a lot easier if you could, one guy could draw aggro and the other guy's shooting him, and one guy could play sniper, or one guy could play soldier, or whatever. That would make, I think, the game a lot better all the way around. As far as it goes with how the game is played and what you do in a game. And this thing is really nearby. I'm kind of like, the game is actually a little bit nerve-wracking, if I can call that, because you're, uh-oh, it's seen me. Oh crap. Took a little damage because I took some, oh shit. Ah, I went down. See, you die really quick if you're not careful. I mean, these things will just wreck you if you're not careful. But no, I'll fall and die. I've got to get healed and get out of his line of fire. I said this game is crazy. Where'd he go? There's his enemies everywhere. There they are too. There they come. Oh, direct hit. Killed him instantly. Oh, there's a ton of them. Look, there's like 4 or 5 of them. Oh, shit. That's not good. Got him. There's a lot of them. Man, the game, this is very accurate. And I'm not good at sniping normally. Damn, I'm not doing good there. It's kind of hard to see. Took out most of them. There's a lot of enemies here. Oh my god. This sucks too. I missed. Got him. There's this guy here. Trying to hit the top because that's where he's... Damn it, I'm terrible. He's doing real good. There he goes. A lot of enemies. Jeez. Why is there so many dang enemies in this area? There's this guy here. Oh, he's coming in. That's what they do. They do that. They'll do that attack on you and you get wrecked. Oh, that hurt a lot. Knocked me all the way down that window. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. I gotta get my heals. There we go. He's searching for me. You see his light up there. Take another one here. We'll admit that sniper rifle really is useful. There was several enemies. I can't believe there was that many. That's crazy. See, that's what I mean about playing with friends. You almost need to. Yeah, missed again. Come on. Got him. That rifle, a hunting rifle is very useful. Oh crap, there's more. There he is. Got him. Another one should be coming up here. Just come in, run at me. I hate that. Miss. Come on. Sometimes the old shotgun helps. Ah, I went down. I've got those revives, so it's not that bad. Where's he at? Damn, I went down again. God, they move so fast. I gotta get a heal on him. There's so many of them. Well, switch to my shotgun. Knock me out again. There is 3 or 4 of these guys. This is no good. Knock me down again. Not good. I'm out of ammo. Shotgun was out. See, I went down. So now I have to go back to the nearest safe house. So, but that's okay. Those guys will be, they'll be back. So I'll go back to the church, I guess, and I can spawn there. But yeah, that's basically, you see a little bit about how, like, those roamers are tough. I didn't realize there was going to be so many of them. Kind of sucks that I'm basically out of ammo, but look, this stuff came back, which is nice, and I can get, you know, I probably could have gone in there and done that a little differently and set some traps and some lures and things like that, but there you have it. Basically, Generation 0. Just, that's basically what you're seeing here. That sucks that I ranked. Yeah, it was hard. It would be easier with people. I mean, but that hunting rifle, I mean, I was getting some good shots off and taking care of them, so it wasn't too bad. I'm going to have to put this ammo into my 12 gauge, obviously. No. Go up here. Move this. I got to move stuff around. You just got to do that to get my inventory back into sorts here. So yeah, that's Generation 0, folks. That is basically what I've got to show you. I just wanted to show you a little bit of the gameplay footage, and I wanted to show you what this game was all about, and talk about it, and tell people about it, and tell you how much I really enjoy just a really, really good game. Let's see here. Special and standard. Let's see here. No, it won't let me use that. That's hollow points. Attached to which weapon? Yeah, I can attach that to my molar there. Got 7.62 millimeter. That's basically AK ammunition for assault rifles, which I don't have one yet, but there you have it. But yeah, this has been episode 17 of the Gaming Roundtable. Thank you for tuning in. This game is great. Pick up. It's all about Generation 0. The episode is Generation 0. I'll be back to you a little bit later on today with another video. I want to appreciate my friend from overseas, Rockabilly, man. Thanks for the friend request. I hope to see you in Sweden in Generation 0. And as always, gamers, good gaming.